How to get your first 100 newsletter subscribers without ads. Alright, so in this video I want to show you how to get your first 100 newsletter subscribers without having to pay for ads. And yes, I will have some examples on what you could do to get to the 100 subscriber mark, which is going to be a challenge, but it could be really, you can also get there really quickly as well. So yeah, let's so everything I'm going to share is stuff that I actually used to get to my newsletter to over 100 subscribers as well, without having to pay for any ads or anything like that. So good morning, and let's do this. All right, so the first thing is, let me just scroll here, move this, is post your newsletter journey publicly. So what do I mean about this? So talk about why you started it and what it's about, right? Share behind the scenes, like updates, like just hit 23 subscribers, aiming for 30 by Friday, right? People love watching and following a story, and they'll want to be part of it, right? So here's an example, right, of a tweet, right, where a newsletter operator, right, newsletter creator, right, he how do you call it, is sharing his wins, right? They just crossed 1,100 subscribers, right? And so yeah, it's just really like, small things like that, could do a lot for you. So yeah, it's just sharing behind the scenes, right? I've done this a lot when I had my newsletter about newsletter, right? I would share almost every day or like once a week. Subscribers, open rate as well, click-through rate, be like, hey, today I have like 50% open rate or click-through rate, etc., right? So yeah, just share stats, share behind the scenes of what you're learning about your goals as well. Yeah, that'll just help a lot. And so yeah, here's another example as well, right, of another newsletter creator, right, who shares, right, he's sharing like behind the scenes, right, of how much the growth, money, and everything as well, they've done as well. So create content around your topic, right? So post short, valuable insights from your newsletter on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Threads, right? Small things like that. You want to reuse your content that you create from your newsletters and post them on those platforms. Like that, people will want to maybe check out your newsletter, right? So like at end of every post, right, you could be like, I go deeper on this in my newsletter, right? You're not promoting it, right? You're just teasing the content, which this creator right here has done a really good job of doing this, right? Like, frustrated with social media and looking ways to grow your newsletter without it, right? Make sure you subscribe to Growth in Reverse, right? And check out your email tomorrow, right? That's a great tease, right? She's hitting a pinpoint, right? And then like the answer is gonna be like, subscribe, and then you'll get the response to how to grow your newsletter without social media, right? So yeah, something that you want to maybe take into account is to tease your newsletter content, right? You could tease it like the day before you release it. Another small way to grow your email newsletter, right, is use your email signature, right? So anytime you have like, maybe you have a work email, you have a personal email, right, you can create the signatures at the bottom, right? Just add your signature right there and then like link your newsletter. You'll be surprised how many people actually click it and will subscribe, because like we email every day, right, back and forth, and so that's just free advertising right there for you. So yeah, turn your best post into lead magnets, right? So if you have a post, right, that did really well, right, you might want to turn it into a free resource, like, I turned my most liked thread into a 3-page mini guide, right? Grab it free whenever you subscribe, right? Like, if a post really did well, right, you want to maybe share the secrets of what you did, like how you wrote it, what you like, the tools you used, did you take any examples, right? And then like, package that up into a lead magnet for somebody, right? And then people love quick wins, right? You could give them one in exchange for an email, right? So like, here's an example, right? Like, if somebody likes this post, they grab the 1-hour newsletter launch plan for free, right? And start your newsletter now, right? Where I give them a quick guide on how to start their newsletter in 1 hour. Be active where your readers hang out, right? Super important, right? So comment on posts, reply thoughtfully, and show up in conversations, right? You want to be active on these platforms. You want to engage with other creators as well, right? When people see your name often and find you valuable, right, they'll check your profile. You'll be surprised of how many times that's happened to me, where I just comment authentically and everything, And then, like, just because people check out my profile, right, they see I link my newsletter, they subscribe, right? So make sure your newsletter link is pinned everywhere when they check out your profile as well, right? And it doesn't have to be super simple, your comments, right? It could be one-liners, it could be something funny as well. You could be asking a question to maybe one of their posts as well. Ask your readers or your early readers, right, for help, right? So your first 20 subscribers are your biggest fans, right? Since they're the ones that subscribe to you and you're just starting out, right? Ask them to forward your email one to a friend, right? If you enjoyed this, forward it to someone who would too, right? So at the bottom of the email, you could just have that little option right there. And so yeah, that's how organic growth starts at like anywhere. So if you have any newsletter questions, right, you could just comment down below, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have, and I'll turn that into a video as well. So yeah, and also don't forget to start your newsletter by clicking the affiliate link down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.